guys, today I'm going to get into a little bit of a deep dive on this Osprey Daylite Travel Backpack. Now for me, personally as a 2-bag traveler trying to keep within carry-on allotments, I have one bigger bag that carries most of my items and then a smaller bag that would be my personal item carry-on, or that bag that keep with you at your feet on a train or a bus, things like that. And that's where this bag would fit the need. And because I travel this way and I'm always seeming to be looking for a new bag, this one keeps on popping its head up. Now there are some things that I hesitate about, but the size of the bag, I mean, it's got travel in the name. It's made for travel. It's made for this exact item. And the capacity is great. It's got a zipper that expands it from 18 liters to 24, which is just, I mean, it's like pretty much perfect for what I'm personally looking for. There are some other unique features to this bag that it really piqued my curiosity as well. It's just the fact that it's a little bit more on the basic bag side. And for me personally, this bag being the everyday carry once I get to a location as well as I run a little hotter, so I'd like to have a nicer back system, just maybe a little bit more full-featured bag. So I hesitated for a while, but hey, I'm in the market again and it's popped its head up and I found it for a good price, so I figured I'd go ahead and run it through the paces. So even though this bag is a little bit on the basic side, there's quite a bit to talk about, so let's get into it. Okay, so I'm about 5'11". I guess that's 180 centimeters. And probably about 185, 190 pounds. Don't know the kilograms that is. Have to convert it. Alright, so looking at the exterior of the bag here, and this is the black version. You probably noticed that there's a bit of a two-tone thing going on here. Website lists this as a 210D nylon double diamond ripstop. Twisted there. And it looks like it's primarily on this greenish blue portion of the bag. Kind of goes through the center straps here and along the face. And then the top and around the rest of the perimeter of the bag looks just like your standard, I don't know, nylon, polyester, probably a nylon. This also has a bit of a sheen to it, which I can't say I care for so much, but it's not horrible. You know, overall, I guess the look of the bag is decent. And you have your 2 water bottle pockets, one on each side here. The mesh is certainly nothing too spectacular. It's not a real high quality. For me personally, I gotta say Osprey, I think in large part because they are a very large manufacturer, you'll find them, their products inside of stores throughout the world, really, it seems like. Definitely in Europe and North America, they're extremely popular. And so therefore, I think their audience, their market is, they're trying to satisfy a lot of people, so you find them a little bit more of that middle of the road. And this being a less expensive and more compact bag, that's kind of a little bit on the lower side of the middle of the road, all the way around. And that's pretty visible to me. And some of the materials, not to say that they're bad, they're not the most premium, and that's just what you get. They do have some other lines that seem to step it up a little bit, but this bag, once again, it's bare bones. It's kind of a basic bag. It might not be the cheapest bag out there, and there's some features that make that reasonable. But at the same time, it's certainly, don't have your expectations too high, let's say. So in addition, we have 2 zipper compartments, one quick stash pocket, the main compartment, and then the third zipper. Those 2 are protected by drip shields, and the one exposed zipper here is simply an expansion compartment. Now I've got this bag packed out pretty well here, but I was able to get it compressed, or yeah, I guess that's what you call it. And you'll see it's pretty slim, but for whatever reason, because I got these a little loose right now, they still actually give you compression straps, which for me personally is a downfall. I hate these things. And another thing about how they have integrated these compression straps here, they're pulling from the face up here on the pocket and back. So if you were to tighten these down, you're just pulling it, the top of the bag away from you more. Now, of course, this has a little bit to do with what I have inside, but it just, they don't function quite the way that compression straps that I'm used to would. But it's a slim bag as it is, compressed. Now, I'll go ahead and expand it. You see the wedge form starts, tapers up, gets bigger up top. Now you have quite a bit more capacity. It goes from 18 liters to 24. It's a really great capacity. But yeah, there's just no reason, and these compression straps don't function too well on this bag. It really almost seems like they just figured, well, they didn't want these little plastic pieces that clip into a travel bag system that they have to just flop around out here. On the bottom, they do that, but they are kind of camouflaged by the bottom of the shoulder straps here. So yeah, I don't know, it almost kind of seems like an easy way out, I guess, on the engineering of this, even though they could have easily integrated some elastic to just kind of hold it back with the nylon webbing for the added durability and the strength if you were going to actually use this on that travel bag system. But the thing about that is that system is designed where those bags have straps that would go through, one on the top here and one on the bottom. You have both of these, and it hugs it onto the back of that travel bag. So these clips having the four corners, two on the top, two on the bottom, clip those in. It's just a reinforcement, I guess it would be the best way to put it, because you have these big nylon straps that are hugging this to the back of the bag. First off, for me, that just really makes those travel bags really stick out far. So I don't like that carry altogether, but I don't understand the even necessity of this. And again, it just seems like that's the only reason to have these straps on here. I'm strongly considering just snipping them off, snipping this one off here. The only problem is that it's got this little flap. I don't know. It might not be much of a problem. Maybe I could just throw a little stitch right in there, hold it to the bag. Another mode of carry inside of the straps up top, they have one side of the clip tucks into a nice little pocket here on the system. And what this is used for, like I said, is another mode of carry for the Osprey system. Actually, I've seen this on a couple other bags. Thule, I'm pretty sure there was a couple others, but I know for sure Thule. Some people, some of us, we carry the bags. You'll have your smaller bag in the front with your main piece of luggage on the back. I know, not a good look whatsoever, but for me personally, it's just something I have to do. But when you do it this way, you get a pinch on your shoulders. You have one backpack strap coming over the front, one going over the back, and it squeezes on your arms. Well, this system is also on the other travel backpacks. On the front side, you have the inlet for this. And then you just take this strap, click it in, and now this is just floating here. So you just have your backpack straps on normal from the other bag, and then this clipped into the front here so that you don't have that pinch on your arms. And also it just has a nice counterbalance to it, this whole system of putting two bags on. Besides the main compartment here, there's only one other compartment. on the back. And this is just a stuff pocket. And there is a key fob in here, or yeah, I think that's what you call it. Their little plastic piece here, I've never had too much luck with. A lot of the time, if I do put some keys on there, they end up floating around inside these bags. So I would probably cut this off, and then what I use a lot is these little, I think it's Nite Ize. I'll put a link for a lot of these components down below. But these are great little clips because you can still use the nylon loop here. I just fish it through there. If you see the black piece in the middle there, you can open the clasp there, right? Now, if you twist that, now it locks it and locks both of them. So you basically have locked or unlocked, and that makes it, even if you don't lock it, this system holds a lot better than this other little clip here. But you can take this in and out. You can actually keep it on your keys, or you can leave it right in there and securely lock it. Actually, I use these to lock a lot of the zippers if I'm in an area where I want some security. These are a little different because there's just some nylon cord into the zipper itself, and they don't have the padlockable system or anything, but you still could clip around both of these cords, and it's just a slow, just a minor deterrent. So say if anybody was trying to get in, the zippers are holding together. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use these little mini carabiner type of clips, and they make them with or without this feature of a locking mechanism. They come in really handy, so I highly recommend those. And again, yeah, it can take the place of this key retainer really nicely because these plastic just don't hold up. So getting around to the back of the bag here, it's got a very unique backpack system. I think they call this a yoke. It's an integrated handle into the backpack straps themselves. This was another thing that kind of deterred me a little bit about the bag. And a lot of people don't seem to like this, and for me too. It doesn't fit my frame so well, I guess I'd say. Because as it is, the way that this is designed, it kind of hangs a little bit, just improperly. Makes the bag kind of tilt in on you, and it is putting more pressure on your shoulders in the front, kind of thing. It's not the most comfortable by any means. They've got each side has these little bit of elastic straps here. I think you can use those for holding on sunglasses or whatnot. I also tucked up the sternum strap, which is not removable. It's one thing that I wish Osprey would do, is make this removable, because in a bag, especially this size, I don't pretty much ever use it, but you can tuck it up, kind of get out of the way. The dangle factor here, as a lot of people call it, it's not much of anything to do with it. I don't know why. Just a really cheap little elastic band around here so that you can tuck it in there. It's a pretty cheap little solution. But yeah, they don't do it. They also, you'll see on a lot of sternum straps, there'll be a little of that elastic kind of just doubled up behind the nylon webbing here. The nylon's your reinforcement, so it gives it a hard pull, but you get a little bit of flexibility with the elastic, and you don't get it on this bag. You do get the just in case whistle built into the sternum strap. The straps themselves, they have these, probably see here, the little cutouts. They're made, it's mesh with a little soft-ish foam inside. And so far, I gotta say, I've been packing this thing out and just kind of testing it around. They feel pretty good. Let's talk about this back panel real quick, but I'm gonna come back to it once I get some of the stuff out of the inside of the bag. There is some foam. This is a mesh system on the back panel with a foam it's a lot denser, but very similar to what's in the shoulder straps here. with cutouts as well. Fold these completely out of the way. You can see here, there's a few channels that are just, there's kind of hole punched out of the back. And gives it good breathability, but it's, again, it's minimal. So now we'll get into the inside of the bag. Then there's just the main compartment zipper here and that little pocket on the front. You don't have one of those good organization pockets on this. I've just got a few items tucked in here, some standard components. And you'll see here, this is that camera cube. It's one of these inserts more where you could take it in or out of any backpack. I've used plenty of other ones in the past, and a lot of those were made by a company called Ape Case. With theirs, they're much smaller. They actually require the camera to be the other orientation, so it takes up a lot more space, but it's a lot smaller. And they make them in a few different sizes. And you can see by the taper, the bag is more squared off, but the bottom does taper a little bit. So down at the very bottom, I put a couple extra, and they're softer things. I got just a rain jacket in here, and this is a compressible bag, but offered a little extra protection for the bottom of my lens, which is at the bottom of that bag, and suspended it, and I brought that up so that where I needed that extra capacity, it was a little higher up where this bag starts to go. Because if I were to just put that cube in here, you just have this void at the bottom because it won't sink all the way down. And then on the inside at the top, we have a small pocket. It's designed for passports, and it will fit a small case, nothing too big. This case actually holds quite a bit in there, but it's a nice little feature. Keeps things tucked away. Secondary zipper so that inside of the main compartment. Yeah, nice place to keep your passport secure. And then right below that, we have the padded laptop sleeve, which is very lightly padded. Not a whole lot going on here. And right in front of it are a couple of mesh pockets. Just very standard, little elastic at the top. Nothing spectacular by any means. And the laptop sleeve is only a single sleeve, so there's no divider for a tablet. If you put a tablet and a laptop in there together, they're just floating in there together. And really it just goes back to the back panel doesn't have a lot of structure. So for me personally, I can't even see using this for a laptop. It just doesn't work. And on top of that, when you have this expanded, it makes access very difficult, which when you have this expanded, which I personally think that I would very often on my travel days, those times when I need to have access to my laptop just to take it out for security, really, more than anything else. And that's when it's going to be the hardest to get to, because you have everything packed out, and this thing you're going to have to kind of force down, really open the bag up more than you'd want to. So it's definitely a downer in my opinion. When it's compressed, it's not so bad, but it's still noticeable. And that's just something that I find to be the case with any of these bags where your laptop's on the inside of the bag. You do have the flap of material, which has to be, you have to expect it. But in this case, if you have it compressed, the material's doubled up in here. So it's, even with this lightweight material now, it's getting kind of thick, just a little more difficult. And then obviously if it's expanded, it's blocking considerably. But now getting back to the back panel again, which is really where this backpack has a lot of problems in my opinion. It doesn't offer any structure for the laptop. Doesn't offer any structure for your back. I don't know if you can tell right now. It's bulging out, up top, and then in at the bottom. And it's kind of always the case. It wants to pop out or pop in. Like it's really snugly in this material, this mesh. it seems like the pad's kind of squeezed in there, so it's wanting to pop out one way or another, or sometimes in multiple directions. And so if you're wearing this without a whole lot in it, it feels kind of lumpy on your back, which is uncomfortable, certainly. And then if you do pack it out, I don't know how well it shows here. There's a bit of a ridge right here, and no matter how you have the back strap or the backpack straps adjusted, it's bulging out towards your back, and it's just, you know, you adjust the straps up or down and it's just moving the point where it's hitting you in the back up or down. And of course, when the pack's packed out fully, it's going to bulge out this direction and really emphasizes that high spot, I guess I would say, at the bottom. So it's difficult. I know that the Daylite system, I knew it was lightweight, it's part of the name. I just didn't know how minimal, I guess I would say, this whole series is, the Daylite series. I hope that they bring the travel line to expand it to some of these other bags that they have, I guess, is the only hope I have there. I really like this front connection strap system to have the bag on the front, because again, for me as a traveler using two bags, it's just what I have to do. I'm carrying around all my things, and I know a lot of people that are after these bags, and the Farpoint and Fairview series, which is what this really is designed to go with. Those have been bags that have been focused towards, and a lot of people, a lot of videos and reviews I'm seeing, a lot of people, it's just their packing videos out there where they're showing packing them out. They're carrying a lot of stuff, you know, and when you're adding this to the system, you're definitely carrying even more. So I would think that a higher quality version there'd be a market for it for sure. And yeah, let's just hope in the future. So, I mean, for me, making something that's this minimal, even for $60 US is what I paid for it, and I know that was a discount off of normal retail. I just don't see the value, and I personally, I can't recommend it. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to be for certain people. Certain people might love this. So take it all in stride, just as usual. I'm just putting this out here for my personal, honest opinion. I just want to share it so that other people know going in a little bit more what to expect. And if this still seems like a bag that kind of calls to you and you think it might be the one for you, I highly recommend going to one of the stores that offer the option of packing it out, maybe even putting some weight in it and walking around in the store a little bit with it to get a feel for it and see if it really is something that you're going to like, instead of, you know, just getting it, you know, in the mail and kind of like me, kind of stuck with it in a way. But yeah, hopefully that was useful information for you. If you guys have any other questions or comments, please drop in the section down below. And if you have any other suggestions on bags, things that would fit within this travel dimensions, please let me know. I prefer, of course, like I was saying, a separate laptop access, not this clamshell thing. TSA, as far as I understand, I've never seen them accept people opening the whole thing up. Just a small pocket on the top. A separate organization compartment. I don't mind lightweight materials like this. I think it would be, I think it would hold up just fine. So it's, I don't know though. Maybe what I'm looking for is just going to be beefier all the way around, which I have no problem with. But a better back panel system is a must as well. So, all right. Enough of this one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody's doing well out there. Take care of yourselves.